Today, we're going to be taking on a very special challenge. This week in the TCG, Supreme Darkness is being released, and with it, a lot of support comes out for one of Yu-Gi-Oh's favorite archetypes and the most supported archetype of all time. Of course, I'm talking about heroes. However, in Master Duel, there isn't any new hero support at the moment, and it'll take a while before this support is ported over into the game. But still, that got me thinking. I really haven't talked about heroes too much on this channel, and it's not because I don't like it, but rather, I always feel like I'm inadequate to the many other die-hard hero fans that are out there. But still, with the release of heroes, and specifically in Supreme Darkness Evil Heroes, I did get reminiscent and nostalgic of the past. I decided, why not try and build an evil hero deck of my own? Of course, there are many different ways to build heroes. You can build the popular On My Hero deck, which mixes them all together, or you could try keep them separate, like doing Elemental Heroes, or Evil Heroes, or Destiny Heroes. And the deck that specifically I wanted to kind of revisit was something that was very popular when I started getting into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't call it popular, but it was slightly popular, and it was a playable deck, and that is Evil Hero Dark Gaia Turbo. So let's go over those cards real quick. Evil Hero Dark Gaia is a fusion monster requiring a Fiend and a Rock. Generic, that's it. Technically, don't need many hero cards for the strategy. And calling it a hero deck is a bit of a stretch, but still. And it says it must be special summoned with Dark Fusion. The original attack of this card becomes the combined attack of its fusion materials, and when it declares an attack, you can move all your opponent's defense mode monsters to attack mode. So what the plan was is you make this card as strong as possible using the fusion spell we'll get to next, alongside the most powerful Fiend and Rock monsters. And back when I was trying this out, it was Grapha, the Dark Lord, as well as Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior. Those two together would make a really strong Dark Gaia, and when you pair it with a Megamorph, which opponent would have more life points thanks to cards like Upstart, the 12,000 attack behemoth would seal the deal. It was a cool strategy, especially because with all the draw power you'd pair alongside it, you'd go second, break the fields, and hit them really hard with some strong heroes. That's kind of what I wanted to go over today. But first we need to talk about the spell that enables all that. And that one would be Dark Calling, which fusion summons a monster from your extra deck that requires Dark Fusion by banishing them from your hand or graveyard. This is essentially Miracle Fusion for Evil Heroes. And if you kept up with Heroes over the last 2 decades, wow, does that make you feel old? You'll know that Evil Hero Adjusted Gold was released at some point in the last few years, which can discard itself to add a Dark Fusion or a card that mentions it, like Dark Calling, from deck to your hand. Setting up fusion plays pretty well. So I kind of ran with the idea, alright, how can I re-envision this Dark Gaia Evil Hero OTK deck in the modern era? I wanted to take on a sort of feel like Tenpai, and it lines up very well even with no new releases for heroes, but with the release of the Molt Charmies, because I can choose second very confidently. And unlike TCG, where choosing second is unreliable because of Game 2 and 3, in Master Duel's Best of 1 format, you can safely go second a lot more often, and there's a lot less, backlash for Game 2 and 3, as you'd have to side out all your go second cards when your opponent makes you go first. That being said, the Molt Charmies are an instant inclusion to the deck, but I still have to figure out the rest of the strategy here. Now, the problem with including Dark World cards and all that sort is, well, for one, Dark World kind of got their own Dark Calling combo anyways. They can use the Dark World fusion spell alongside Colorless to do the same thing without playing the hero shenanigans. But also drawing into multiple cards in a Dark World combo, or drawing into Molt Charmies that are only good on your opponent's first turn when you're draw powering with cards like Trade-In, is very inefficient. So it didn't really fit with what I was trying to do here. But then I remembered we're not playing old Yu-Gi-Oh! There are ways to access rock monsters besides just the main deck. On top of that, you can usually search cards pretty easily. And that kind of brought me to Gallant Granite, my rock monster of choice. A rank 4 that's just generic, so you can use this with anything, lets you detach a material to add a rock from your deck to your hand. So this is good because you can add a powerful rock like Valkyrion and set up powerful Gaia plays. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add Adamantipator Researcher, a level 2 tuner rock that says if you control a rock monster, it can summon itself from the hand. This is important because it turns our 2 level 4s into one body, but then Gallant Granite gets another body to convert it back into a Link 2, which is going to be important for some of the combos once we get to that point. Now, of course, Gallant Granite is going to be weaker than Valkyrion, as well as Adjusted Gold is weaker than Grapha, but still, those two compared together can produce a pretty strong monster. At a whopping 4,400 attack points, you won't need much alongside it to end the duel. So from there, I was kind of looking at ways that I could build a going second deck that could summon rank 4s, as well as constantly access Adjusted Gold. That led me to this. Now, I'm going to show you the deck before explaining the rest of the cards, because I want you guys to kind of see the thought process I went through when I made this Tenpai-esque Hero Fusion OTK Turbo. Now this doesn't look like anything too weird, but it's obviously a lot different than any other hero deck you expect to see in current modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It looks like a fusion between this old sort of evil hero deck, I mean not really, but it's evil hero-esque with Dark Gaia, combined with Bubble Beat of all things. That's another nostalgic deck that I didn't plan on building today, but here I am and I'm happy I'm building it, so Bubble Beats. And we'll read those cards shortly off so you guys know what they do. But that's the kind of plan, as well as we've incorporated as many like fusion cards as possible, because especially when we can fill the graveyard to give them material, they are very powerful at putting up damage leading into OTKs, which is exactly the plan here. And importantly, unlike the other hero decks of the modern era that are designed to go first, those decks play a lot of bricky one-ofs that can feel really weird and make your hands going second feel fragile. And that's ultimately the biggest problem with heroes in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! So by taking out that go first power and a lot of those bricks, the Ferrises, the Vions, the Deniers, the Mallies, the Mass Changes, the Shadow Mists, we end up with a lot more of a compact list that can play more non-engine and really shouldn't be bricky. Obviously, there's still the Researcher in here, which I'm going to level with you. If you draw it, is really, 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 really bad. The rest of the deck should line up in a more normal sense. But now with that said, let's kind of run over the more overarching strategy here. Stratos is the name of the game here. I know the focus was evil heroes, but Stratos, man. Stratos is the OG broken hero. It's the card that brought it together from just an anime deck to the meta mainstay that would impact format after format after format after format. This is the card. This and Malicious. They are heroes. And Stratos, if you don't know, for some reason, says on summon, lets you add a hero from next to your hand. Any hero, not just elemental heroes. This is going to be important because this gives us access to a Dusted Gold, as well as the elemental hero portion of the deck. And it ties Emergency Call back into the evil heroes because Emergency Call cannot add evil heroes. Got to tie it all together somehow. Stratos has another effect that lets you destroy spells or traps up to the number of other heroes you control when you summon it, which can come up, but that's not the reason we're playing. It's also important to note that Stratos is from a bygone era where cards did not say once per turn on them. So that means when we revive Stratos with any of our extra deck monsters, which we'll get to as well, it'll trigger and search. And that's great because the next card we're searching is also not once per turn. Dusted Gold might be, but Bubble Man is not. Bubble Man is another mainstay hero from the early days of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which says if it's the only card in your hand, you can special summon it. Now, this doesn't seem too impressive, and it really wasn't when this card was released, but later on, as XYZs came out, a level 4 that summoned itself for free and was searchable multiple times through a turn became somewhat cool. As well as now that links are out, you can also use link shenanigans. We'll have XYZ monsters and links to tie in Bubble Man altogether. It also says if it's summoned and you control no other cards, you draw 2. This is like the last ditch Hail Mary Destiny draw type stuff that you can pull off with heroes. However, it's not the reason to play this card. And as I said, yeah, this card is not once per turn, which means when we search it off Stratos, we can summon it. We search a second one, do it again. You draw with the Emergency Call, same thing. You can set the Emergency Call, summon Bubble Man, Emergency Call, then the set one, get a Bubble Man, summon that out, voila. And that will give us a lot of ways to generate bodies. That's great for XYZs, but for links, I'm looking at Cross Sheep. A link to that requires 2 monsters with different names, which is not too hard. And that says if you summon a monster zone it points to, it gains effects based on the monsters and that points to. So it can do up to 2 effects. And I'm not going to read them all here because the only one that really matters is the fusion effect. So if it points to a fusion, either it points to a fusion, you summon a monster, or you summon a fusion to its zone, you will then summon any level 4 or lower in your grave. Like Stratos! And the Stratos will then trigger. Voila! We search, which is so good. This converts the link 2 Cross Sheep into the Stratos, into Bubble Man, bridge into a link 4 or another rank 4, say Access Code Talker or Dugaris or Dweller. The rest is history. Your opponent should just be dead. Now the play pattern here might be coming together a little bit more cleanly. If you open up a way to a rank 4 plus a Stratos, so a level 4 plus a level 4, and one of those level 4s being Stratos, you can go say, summon Stratos, get your Dusted Gold. A Dusted Gold, grab Dark Calling. Set your hand, summon Bubble Man. Make Gallant Granite. Search for Adamantium Researcher. Summon it. Link for Cross Sheep. Then use Dark Calling. This is important because otherwise Stratos would not have a way of searching a fusion spell effectively. It turns your hero search into a fusion. Then you get to banish your rock from the grave and the Dusted Gold to summon out Dark Gaia. Stratos will come back off Cross Sheep, then we get to search on the Bubble Man, summon it, or we can go for Trisbania and go Bubble Man, trigger that effect to banish their back row, but ideally they don't have any at this point. If not, you'll just go Trisbania into Access Code Talker, pop 2 cards, And would you look at that? Presenting about 10,000 points of damage, more than enough to knock out our opponent. As well, if you have the ability, you can play cards like yugioh to give you extra monsters. Just note that I'm not playing 3 Bubble Man in this deck, so you will run out of targets. That is because drawing 2 of them together can get very cloggy. It means you'll have to normal summon a Bubble Man instead of a Stratos. And yeah, too many monsters is definitely a problem for Bubble Beat. So that's why we're trying to keep it as concise as possible. So that was how the deck started, and then we ran from there. Obviously, if you're going second and filling your grave with Charmies and Maxis, and then playing heroes from your hand, Miracle Fusion should always be live. Especially if you use Perilia, you can get Absolute Zero, which is one of the best cards in Hero, especially in the olden days. Because when it goes to grave or leaves the field period, it destroys all monsters your opponent controls, which is kind of crazy. This includes if you link it away. So you can Miracle Fusion for this, link it away, and then boom, field gone, leaving it wide open for you to OTK. Very much in line for what we're trying to do. Extra Hero Wonder Driver is also great because when we aren't going for the rock game plan, it lets you Miracle Fusion, then reset the Miracle Fusion and use it once more. And then still link back up into either Cross Sheeps or into Access Code Talkers. I've also incorporated Instant Contact as a way of putting more heroes into play, to trigger either Cross Sheep or Wonder Driver, as well as give us more fodder for Miracle Fusions, making sure they're always live. And they're just in general a solid extender because this deck has link plays. Now the rest of this deck is filled out with going second spell cards. Thrust is phenomenal because it can access engine or non-engine. Now the one card that may seem a little atypical is Dynam Wrestler Pankratops. I'm only playing 2 because again drawing multiple would clog your hand for Bubble Man, but playing this card because it can help you clear a field going second, summon it, pop a card, and that's great. But then afterwards, it is level 5 or higher, so you can use it to summon Malicious Bane, another Evil Hero support card we haven't got to yet, which requires only an Evil Hero and any level 5 or higher monsters. So in that deck, that's going to be one of your instant contact targets, or it's going to be Malicious Bane, at which point this card cannot be show at battle or card effects. Afterwards, during your main phase, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card, and then it gains 200 attack for each destroyed. Rest of the turn, you cannot attack except with heroes, so when you're doing this, you need to make sure you're going for a kill shot with hero monsters, not with Access Code Talker. Still, that is possible, and you can also double the attack of your heroes with yugioh. So yeah, not that hard, just something you have to be careful of, otherwise you will lose the game. And that kind of brings it all together. That's the vision I see here. It's go second with Charmies and Maxis, slow them down, these blowouts like you do in Tempai, and then instead of a Chandra going for game, it's Stratos. I think this is a cool, fun way of playing heroes that works especially well in Master Duel as opposed to TCG, that I think I haven't really seen played that much on here. So I'd encourage you guys to give it a shot, and let's see how it does in action. All right, we have won the roll up against, looks like someone who hit their keyboard really hard. Chose to go second, obviously. Hand looks solid. I think you hold Fulos, you don't hold Perilia. I'll try to get good value out of it. Okay, Fulos is not great versus this deck. Neither is Heavier Pink, to be honest, so this is a bit concerning. However, we'll have to bear just a little bit of, what's the word? You have to just be a little patient, right? Because our hand otherwise looks fine. Ash Blossom would be the worst case for us because then Hero Lives won't work properly, but yeah. They're going to chain Bonds to place. Okay, so they're going to have a pretty strong setup. The second thing this Trudea comes to the field, which I expected to come to very shortly, I'm going to Fuelos. He obviously will just use the effect, put it back in Spell and Trap Card Zone, and then it becomes like he just synchros in my turn type of shtick. But I mean, they kind of don't have a choice. The other option is the Fuelos on my turn when he draws. So I draw when he goes to Crimson Dragon and such. But I don't actually want to draw cards on my turn because if you draw monsters after you've already committed a normal summon or like a draw Mole Charming and you can't afford to draw more cards at this point, you might just lose to the Bubble Man. So yeah, just be a little careful here. Okay, so if he's doing this, then I'll Fuelos into summon of a token. Or, I mean, I can do it here. It's the same shit. Because now it's going to force him to either pass or, yeah, so he's going to pass here. And what's actually good about this is he can't synchro summon. Or he can't synchro summon. This is not protected from heavy because there's no Auxilla here. If he goes Auxilla, which is probably correct, then, yeah, then he is protected, which is kind of a problem. Okay, Dusted Gold is fine. That's not a bad draw because this sets up Malicious Bane and obviously unclogs my hand pretty well. Okay. Gonna place one. Okay, sure. And then, so now heavy doesn't do much, which is a problem. Oh, I mean, it hits the trap, which I guess matters. Summon out Trudea. place another one small trap card zone. So they're filling their back row. What this means is if they have a Primera up, I can't pop the Auxilla. I'm doing for Lemma or for MF. That's strange. Okay. And they're going to send from deck to grave. Okay. Okay, this is still very reasonable for us, to be honest. I don't feel that bad about this. Draw Miracle Fusion is fine. I'm going to heavy debate this out first. Obviously, these don't die, which I wish they would, but Centurion, this protects all faceless spells and traps. But yeah, obviously, get rid of back row. That card does matter. Now, the problem is these do have anti-synergy. Hero Lives and the Pankratops. When I summon this, I can't pop anything. Maybe I'm supposed to Hero Lives and see if he does anything, then I can summon Pankratops to force. Yeah, I think I do that. I think I Hero Lives to try force out the Synchro Summon. Ash. Okay, I mean, that one thing that can happen. I can search another Hero Lives. That's not technically a problem. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I need Engine, so let's get another Hero Lives. Yeah, so now he's gonna summon these out. He's gonna go for Blazar. And then Pankratops will force the Blazar. It won't beat it, but it'll force it. That interrupt won't be there. That'll give us the opening to go for the kill shot, hopefully. And then we're going to have both Dark Calling and Miracle Fusion in hand, which should be enough, hopefully. So, yeah, I'm going to get Hero Lives. I'm not going to set it. That is how I lose the game. If I click set, thrust, I just scream. And then the Synchro Summon should happen right now. Search, doesn't matter. I have to be conscious of this card reviving from the grave off of the Phalanx. But otherwise, that's really all that's left in terms of interactions. This might make something else. It might make... Yeah, no, this was the obvious one, I think. And then he's going to tag out for the Blazar to stop Hero Lives. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there's the Blazar. Cool. And as I said, let's go Pinky Poo. And that should deal with the Biatch immediately. Doesn't use it to negate the summon. I'll use the effect and target it. It's the same thing. He should, I guess, wait until he uses the effect because they can only be summoned once this turn this way. And I think that means that if he negates the summon, I can summon another one, technically. Not that Pankratops does anything. That's these cards. Yeah, so he chains, and that's fine. He can't Ash me, so this Hero Lives should resolve. Dominus Impulse is not in Master Duel yet. That's something hero players in the TCG would have had to deal with. So this should be good to go. I mean, we could get Veilered on summon. This is why I haven't committed my Dusted Gold yet, but that's about the only thing that can happen to us. Add a hero, yes sir. Cool. I'm gonna add another Stratos here because I can normal summon it and search again. And then let's search again. Okay. Don't destroy spells and traps. Let's add a hero from that hand. Spells and traps cannot die right now. So let's get the Bubble Man. Dusted Gold effects. Dark Calling. I'm gonna set to Dark Calling to hand. Okay. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Am I playing around Nib? So one way that I could beat this card is to Dweller, which is perhaps what I'm supposed to do. It loses to some other interaction, I think, but I can afford to go Dweller. So yeah, I'm gonna go Dweller. So let's set these. And then summon the Bubble Man. Doesn't activate for those who don't know. Then let's go into Abyss Dweller. It's my only way of stopping that from being used in the battle phase. So I'm not gonna have a Rock and Grave, but because I have a high level monster, that doesn't matter. I can make Malicious Bane. I just won't use the effect. Because obviously that locks me to attacking only heroes. The Dweller's going to get used now. So this Phalanx is no longer going to be live, which is important. Now I make Cross Sheep, and then I'm going to Dark Calling. Yep, Dark Calling. He doesn't know about Miracle Fusion, which is why I'm saving that one for later. Some Malicious Bane outs. Banish 1, Banish 2. Then Cross Sheep will trigger, bring back the Stratos, and then Stratos get another Bubble Man. You've seen the story. We haven't seen the story before, but this is the whole game plan of the deck, so I'd hope this damn works. Bring back this Stratos. And effect one more time. And you have to make sure I'm not misclicking. Add from deck to hand. Get the Booble Man. Okay, and there's a bit of a thing here. Nibiru. Oh, okay. Nibiru is annoying. Nibiru is very annoying. So how do I play past Nibiru? I don't have any generic links left that I can use that easily. So either way, Bubble Man comes out. I'm going to go Miracle Fusion. And I'm going to summon Sunriser so I can search again. Banish one evil hero, I guess. One Stratos. Leave myself open with the attributes still. Then I'll get to add from deck to hand. Like to add from deck to hand. Miracle Fusion. The problem is now the Auxilla's in the grave. So how do I deal with the Auxilla? Either way, I have to summon Wonder Driver, I think. If I just had a Link monster I can make with this card, like if I played a Nightmare, I think I would have had game. But I think I do, unfortunately, because I don't. Okay, and Nibiru, #1 enemy of heroes. Been so for a while. Trying to think if anything matters here. How do I make Gaia? What earth do I have in my grave? Oh, Cross Sheep. Is Gaia ever enough? So it'll be 41, and then I'm missing 3,900. And how many heroes would be banished? I go Wake Up. How much is Wake Up? 300 for each material used for its summon. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 3 materials used for its summon, so it's not enough either. I mean, this is the only way to do it, right? 1, 2. And then get to reset the Miracle Fusion. Effect. Effect. Target to reset Miracle Fusion. Yep, so I have 56, so 4,100, I need 39 more. Yeah, and I have how many heroes banished for now? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hero. Oh, Shining goes up to 3,800 here. This is just short. God damn it. If I had one more warrior in grave, or one way to do damage with this, I think I'd be fine. And this is just shy. There's this as well, actually. I forgot about the Trudea. This was... Oh, the Trudea doesn't matter because I attacked multiple times anyways, but... Yeah, this is just short, which is unfortunate. Wait, it does burn damage? I didn't know this did burn damage. Wait. Hidden ability that I know about. Wait, what did I just do? I don't know what just happened. It's like an anime moment where I was in a pickle. I was only 100 off and I made up my own effects to win the game. I have no idea. I didn't know that had that effect. I didn't know. It's a Flame Wingman type ability. Since when did that card have Flame Wingman ability? Why does it have 5 effects? Must fusion summon against 300 for each attack a number of times. And after damage calculation, if this card battles a monster, destroy it and deal damage to it equal to its original attack. Oh my god! Here I was thinking, oh, I'm 100 off. But no, we had it. Let's go. All right. Nibiru, not the problem for my rock deck. Let's go. Okay, we have won the roll up against Velo Gorat here. Unfortunately, we do a researcher, which obviously sucks, but the rest of the hand seems fine. We'll have to build around this. Hopefully, I draw Hero Lives to set up rank 4s pretty easily and make it not so bad. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. There was no toggle on the Pearly, which means Maxi probably also resolves. So the problem is with a lot of these is there's a good chance my opponent just leaves the game when I Maxi them here. It's the reality of a deck like this. It's just a lot of games they see the draw cards and they're like, I don't want to deal with this, and they just go next. But that's the way Yu-Gi-Oh works sometimes, man. Right, so these affect a special, right? Special when you're Ragnarok is when you're banished. Yeah, I'm gonna max E here and see if they have anything. Nothing. Okay, so we'll see if they quit, or if they have back or they set. And yeah, deck's too strong, clearly. Okay, we have lost this roll up against Tati here. Tati from Naughty. Hand looks okay. We have Hero Lives again, which is nice. Drawing Researcher, though, is really bad. Okay, we have double maxi. They may just leave again. That's, well, we'll see how this goes, because tier's not always the best in these circumstances. It depends on how they built their deck, though. Resolve, good sign, good sign. Good show, good show. I might beat them. Wow, that's a mill. That's a good draw. I need to see a dust of gold, so that way you can manage this out of your hand to just unclog. Chain this, obviously. It only get one draw. They'll not play after this. They'll cut it off after the kit. Oh, but still, I need to draw hero cards here, some engine, whatever extends me, you know. You catch my drift. This will hit back row. So they're gonna search solid commander noise here, or crime even, and we will either force out crime or everything else. Fantastic draws. Those were two perfect draws. Not clogging monsters either. Any charm user draw at this point, we'd be dead as well. So we discard them, but yeah, those were perfect. I probably couldn't have asked for much better. Okay, so they are going for crime, which may mean they have like a shuffle or a snow in hand. If they be a bit careful. Oh, interesting. That's, I mean, this is 8 mils for one draw. I probably would do this too if I were them. Yeah, this is worse until I get this out of my hand. But I mean, the way my hand looks, I might be able to just normal summon the researcher, to be honest, because I just don't have monsters. I don't know. That's a bit too early to say. Well, okay. Gets back halfness. Or they could fuse. There's no way they fuse, though. It's 2 draws, right? Although they might make Winda. They're gonna make Winda. Okay. So that's shitty now. I'm gonna have to use my battle phase to kill the window, right? Because I don't have a way to deal with it. I don't play Droplet. Droplet's a card, by the way, I think you can very heavily consider for this deck. I don't have it in here right now because I don't know how good it is in the metagame, but Droplet very much fits with this theme, as well as it can clear your hand, which is sometimes a necessity. I didn't see that was the beast, right? Yeah. Okay, that's expected to some degree. I should draw 2 cards here. Okay, there's the Dark Calling. Doesn't really help me because I don't have the evil hero yet. Plus, this can't be shown by card effect. This could be shown by card effect. This would not be a problem. However, life is not so kind to have removed this effect from them. It's still fine. It's still fine. Like, wait, what? That's crazy. There's the Dust of Gold, so I'm just fusing the hand if I want to. This is not a game you see every day, guys. Very strange occurrences. Yes, the Shuffler should make the Miracle Fusions overall pretty rough, but yeah. All right. Cool. Draw. Second thrust. Okay. Maxi off the rip. Fair, my friend. That's only fair. So let's Duster to eat up this crime. Okay, resolves, so it doesn't chain. Does he have anything to add back? No, right? Yeah, no. So I have no way of dealing with this, right? I have to just go attack. A Miracle Fusion cannot banish from the hand, which is rough. It's only from the field or graveyard, unlike Dark Calling, which can fuse from the hand. Because otherwise, I can make, as we learned, I can make this shit wake up and just attack a bunch of things and go, and then they're dead, but it doesn't work that way. What am I searching off thrust? Is there anything that does anything immediately here? There's no negates. He can use a monster effect, so I can't do this. If I could do that to link off his cards, that'd be awesome, but can't. If there's anything that would bait out an effect, that way I could thrust for his talents. Probably not. E-Call feels really bad as well. Is there any way to put heroes in the grave? It doesn't matter putting heroes in grave because this just stops me. And there's the Shuffler in grave as well. And if he chains a Shuffler to this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the play. 26 in deck, so deck out's never an option. They didn't chain anything. Guys, let's go Dark Gaia. Banish 1, banish 2. And there we go. Okay. This is so bad, but it has to just be fine. Alright, attack. Change them to attack mode. No reason to do that. Just leave it. Resolves. Alright, bye-bye Winda. Now, main phase 2. I have to defend myself. Now I can't just do nothing. So I'm going to go Hero Lives. Ash. Like, part of me wonders if I did that to Winda, would he have stopped this? Probably not, though. But I mean, I don't actually care about this. I'll have to use this as my hand. And I have to set some cards. Time for the Bubble Man. All right. The plan here is to make Abyss Dweller and Absolute Zero. Effect special. And now E-Call. Add Stratos, connect a hand. Effect. Nope, not destroy spells and traps. Effect to add, connect the hand. Get another Bubble Man, right. I haven't used that yet. This is still on the field though, which is a problem. I'm actually gonna go Thrust to steal his, try steal his field. That might be better than what I was thinking before. Because if I steal this, the shovels are back in his deck as well. Take control. So if he chains this, it's fine. I'll lose my grave. Nope, let me steal this. Okay. And then I'm going to use the effect. I'm going to put back Keldo, the Dark Calling, and call it there. I don't care about anything else. Yeah. Okay. Next up, is it just Dweller Pass or I don't know, Miracle Fusion? What does Miracle Fusion do for me? Nuke his field with Absolute Zero. Is it even good though? I go Cross Sheep, Sunriser, add Miracle Fusion, Revive. More draws for him though as well. I'm gonna go. I should have put back Adamant's Researcher probably. Yeah, whatever. Oh no, it was banished. That's why I didn't. All right, Cross Sheep here. It's fine. Miracle Fusion. 2 heroes, different attributes. 1 and 2. Effects and effects. Revive the Stratos. An effect to add connect the hand. Happiness. Okay, well I haven't made Dweller yet, which is a problem. Blackout Laughs. Okay. Also drew off Maxi, but that doesn't matter. Can't make Absolute Zero just yet. Okay. Then effect to search. Right, because I haven't used this yet. No, there's a toggle here. Oh, it's Blackout Laughs. That's what it is. Yeah, no, I'm not concerned with the Blackout Laughs. Let's use this for Dark Calling. Grab that. And this destroys my monsters or just theirs? Oh, my opponent controls. Okay, so that's probably the best. I'm going to do this. We'll detach Stratos. I'm going to summon this out. Banish 1 and 2. Then we'll nuke their field. And end turn. Okay. And then I have Dweller to try stay alive. Question is, do they play Imperm? They might play Imperm. I mean, if they have Imperm, I'm thinking about this. They call Abyss Dweller. Chain Abyss Dweller, they chain Imperm. If I don't chain to the Black Goat, then I'm still boned. Yeah. The window there's so rough. It resolves. Okay. So that puts me a little bit at ease. Oh. There he goes. But okay, I mean, the game plan there was pretty obvious, right? So like, what this accomplished is its presence on field, which is hard for him to overcome now through the Dweller. And then we have follow-up with Miracle Fusion Thrust. So like, we weren't out of the game there. Obviously, it gets a bit awkward for us, but it's also awkward for them. And they're low on cards, right? Because we burned their Shuffler. We burned their, like, 2 of their tier names are in the grave already at the very least. There's a chance they might never actually get to recover from that, because if they use their last Sheeran to try and like put bodies in field to break the board, then they have no tiers left in their deck, period, and no way recycling. And we can actually engage in a grind game where we summon big random fusions like The Shining, and that's good enough. Interesting game, and ironic that like you don't actually see us go for the clean OTK that often, but That's Yu-Gi-Oh. It's how can you adapt, and this deck can adapt to some degree because you have so many different fusions you can play, and you can see between these two games already how much, if you vary your side deck a bit, it can be better or worse. Not your side deck, sorry, your extra deck, because there's a lot of different cards you may need. For example, there's a chance I'm supposed to play multiple Sunrisers because on the next turn I might have wanted a second Sunriser from this position. That card is really good in this spot. But yeah, anyways, let's go on to the next game. All right, I lost the roll to Acid Boy here, and not the best. It lacks starters. Oh, is this flu? Gross. This might just be flu. This one, I'd add to some more card, unless it's actually some Morgs, but I doubt it. This is a card they might play in flu decks. Although this might be a brick hand from them for doing this. I have no idea what to expect. My hand is not great though. I don't have starters. Draw one Stratos or whatever, then I'll be good. Yeah, this looks like a bricked up flu player. And unfortunately, I can't capitalize on it myself because I'm also bricked up. I have a rank 4 line here, but without a good target for this. That's not that important. Oh, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. Okay, so special this is fine here. I'd probably still go for rank 4. Dweller do anything for me? No. Dugaris. I wish I didn't have to use my normal summon for it, but that might be it. I think that's where I want to be headed. Wait. This gives me attack. That's hilarious. Get in there, Fulas! Big boy Fua. Okay. Special summon. The other option is... I don't have space for SP, unfortunately. The thing is, with the Garrus, what am I trying to draw into? Because if I draw Stratos, I can't summon it this turn. That's a lot of damage. Okay, I'm going to do the Gaia play. If it's going to force him to do something, at very least, I'm going to have beaters on field. So, yeah, I'm going to do this and add Researcher, and then I'm going to make Cross Sheaf. I'm going to go make Gaia. I'm going to revive the Fuwalas, which is psychotic, but that's the world we're in. I don't have any rocks in my deck to summon off this, which would be hilarious, but I'm not going to reveal him my deck. Yes, I'm going to make Cross Sheep here. And there should be no card that stops Miracle Fusion except Judgment. And if there's Judgment, then that's fine. Yes, a Miracle Fusion here. Let's get out Gaia, right? Yeah, Gaia should be the best one. I'm going to banish this and the small rock, right? So that way I can make a strong Dust of Gold. Should I, or Gaia if I draw it? You know, in the next turn or whatever. Effects. And then effects. So bring this out. And then we go into Trisbania. And this actually is an access code for lethal line, but I think just attacking is honestly really good. 8350. I mean, it's just shy of killing him. Do I go for game? Access code is kind of hard to deal with, but I don't want to link this off. And if I link this off, then this doesn't do anything, right? Like, if I get stopped, then I'll have a pen cup. Having a pen cup seems nice. If it is flu, would he have impermed me anywhere prior? I think those back rows are just dead. I'm gonna go for access code. This might be greedy, but based on a read on what we've seen from them so far, this should walk, I think. And then I don't know if there's any back row he could have the trigger. If I pop them, so I'm just gonna go battle phase, and they're just dead. I'm curious what deck they were playing. Let's take a look. Yeah, it was flu, so I was right. The back row were just cards they can't activate, which is why, like, Eclipse is something they probably would have used. Eclipse could have been a bit awkward for me, truthfully. Call by, they would have used on Miracle Fusion in theory. Otherwise, it wouldn't have done anything rest of the turn. I think if we were running with the read, they had flu, or they were playing flu. So given that we think it's flu, we should commit to our read. And if we think it's flu, then what traps would they play? And realistically, that meant if they weren't imperming at any prior point, access code would resolve, and we should just go for lethal. That's part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where base level Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just go for game, and the next level Yu-Gi-Oh! Is go for the conservative play that's safer. And then the next level Yu-Gi-Oh! Is making reads properly and knowing to capitalize on your advantage. Obviously, it's cool there though that we won that game with a hand that is full of nonsense. Sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes like that, and this deck can play with nonsense. More so than flu, apparently. Let's get one more in. Okay. We have lost the roll up against Moki here, and they've elected to go first, which falls into our game plan. And looking all right. Runic. I'm gonna hope this is not stun, but if it isn't stun, we're about to draw 3 cards here. Oh, golden droplets might mean stun. All right, instant contact with the top is good. I don't want to draw that. I already have one. No, this is okay. Cool. So probably not stun. I'm gonna go Fua Maxi, which is kind of disgusting. Yeah, Fua, and then Chain Ash. They're gonna quit. They're gonna quit when I do this. Watch. This is gonna be so ass. Oh god. Oh my god. This is so dirty. This is not fair. I'm sorry, Sprite Runic player. I'm sorry, Josh. Oh god. Oh, yep. And see, the nice part is we don't go first, so we were never bricked on that. I said that was the last game, but that was a minute, so we'll play one more. Okay. Lost the roll up against a 60 card deck here. Our hand looks solid. It's a very traditional hero hand with a maxi. This hand literally could have been legal like years ago, which is hilarious. Yeah, they just passed those, so I'm not getting the best games today, it feels like, but I guess that's part of the game. Check for Imperm, Ash, etc. We're gonna add Bubble Man off this, right? No, we're gonna add no, we add a Dusted Gold. We have double E-Call for the Bubble Mans. Let's get a Dusted Gold. Use the effect, get the Dark Calling, and then we're going to discard the Maxi to make space in our hand. It's so stupid we have to do that, but that's our deck. Maximum Cock, and then set some cards. 1, 2. Probably put this one in the middle, right? If I get impermed, I don't want that to get stopped. And then let's E-Call. This is straight out of Bubble Beat. I love it. But this is like the only time we're getting to our actual game plan, where we're gonna go Gallon Granite, and then we're gonna make Cross Sheep, and I'm gonna look like what I was supposed to do. Although that being said, I have E-Call, a second E-Call, so I don't even need to do that. Maybe I'm supposed to play a third Bubble Man, but it feels wrong to play 3 and then just brick on multiple. I don't know. You guys can mess around with this, with the deck recipe yourselves, and let me know what you think is the best. Add a Rock Monster from deck to hand. A Rock Monster. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I can use the Stratos' other effect, which is really funny, and then pop the back row, and that's actually pretty good. So I'm gonna do that. They're thinking here, so it's chainable to some degree, right? There's a Black Girl Laughs, perhaps? Oh, what the? Max C. I mean, versus 60 card deck, I'm not respecting the Maxi. Like, you cannot let this deck live. I don't have much. I don't play protection, so I'm not protecting myself. I'm just going in. I mean, if we get nibbed, we have thrust, which is the nice part. Go Dark Calling. All right, let's see what they are thinking about here. Call by the Grave. Ah, that's what the last card was. Okay. A Dust of Gold, so to resolve without effect. But that's fine. Obviously, we both know that doesn't matter. We both know. Act like there's 2 of us here. There's hundreds of you here, thousands. Miracle Fusion would banish the Stratos. Is that what I want to do? No, because I want to revive the Stratos, right? So, what am I fusing for instead? Gaia is the only other card I can make. Gaia game though. I guess I don't have to do that. I could just go. I probably do just make Sunriser. I don't need to. I don't need to revive Stratos. I can just get Bubble Man off of E-Call, right? Yeah. And this will just revive the Researcher, I guess. Chain Block around Ash. Actually, this isn't chain blocking around Ash properly, right? Ash. Wait, you can Ash this? That's cool. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, I didn't think about that. This should still be game, though, if he has nothing else. Because I get Bubble Man again. Then we're going to go set. Activate a special Bubble Man. Make Trisbane. I have to be careful not to summon into its zone. But as long as I do that, I'm fine. And yeah, this should be enough, right? Miracle Fusion. Don't summon it here. I guess the problem with this is if he summons it here, right? Nothing I can do about it. And the only thing I can make is Gaia, right? Yeah, these are all bait because they banished off of the field, which I really need to make sure I don't do. I banished the wrong card there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it almost never comes up, but... okay. This should be enough now. Back to mandatory. Battle phase. And just like that. Do not pop my own card, obviously. And heroes, finish him. Okay. The simple game with heroes. Alright guys, so that was my hero OTK deck, or evil hero rendition in the modern era. I thought it was pretty cool, and it's something that I feel like is not super explored. As an OG Yu-Gi-Oh player, my favorite hero cards were Bubble Man, Miracle Fusion, Dark Calling, Dark Gaia. You know, and those have been almost forgotten in modern day heroes. It's like Blackwing, you know, they're the same deck in technicality, but they're not the same. They don't play anything the same as they do. And this isn't Bubble Beat, but it plays the most similar to where you have these really aggro pushes with multiple Miracle Fusions, multiple Bubble Mans coming down in one turn into a string of OTKs. Obviously ramped up into the modern era's power level. I think this is pretty cool, and it really abuses the fact that Stratos is once per turn. So if you wanted a different style of heroes and didn't want to brick like you are in the On My Hero variant, then I recommend giving this a try because it's super cool. And let me know what you guys think below, as well as what other decks you want to see me take on in the future. Peace.